Hey guys, so for the month of May, I am going to dedicate my Let's Get Personal videos to co-parenting and what that looked like for my ex-husband and I. Um, Specifically for this video, I want to talk about our schedule, and this is the schedule prior to me moving to Houston. So this schedule is the one we followed when we both lived in the same state. So initially, when we decided to separate, we actually lived in the same community. I stayed in our current home with the boys, and he moved down the street into another property that we owned at the time. Um, we initially didn't even have a schedule, I'll be honest. We were kind of just trying to keep the same schedule for the kids that we had while we were together. So, what that looked like for us is he came over every morning, helped get the kids ready for school. Sometimes would take them to school if his schedule permitted. And then in the evening, he would come back, help with dinner, get the kids ready for a bath, and help put them to bed. I will warn you that my therapist told me that's not a healthy schedule because it's not something that you can continue to do long term. Let's face it, if you guys are no longer going to be together, you're going to have a life at some point outside of what you're doing now, and you might want to put plans in place now before you set yourself up for failure in the future. She was right, because when you're going through a divorce and separation, or a separation or a breakup, the last thing you want to do is see that person every single day. No matter if you have kids or not. The last thing I wanted to do, eventually it came to it where we didn't need to see each other every day. It just wasn't healthy, and we were both trying to create boundaries within one another, and so it just made it more difficult. Eventually, our attorneys talked to us about what kind of schedule we wanted to keep for our kids, and if we did not agree on a set schedule, that the court system would give us the default schedule, which is first, third, and fifth weekends for a father, and you get 1 day a week on the second and fourth weeks of the month. That schedule wasn't enticing to us, to be honest. It seemed like a lot of shuffle back and forth, and that's the last thing we both wanted for our kids. So we decided to do a week on, week off. So our switch spot was school. So every Monday, that's when we would do our switch. Our kids learned the day of the week that way, and he got his week uninterrupted time, and I got the same. On our off weeks, we got to do what we wanted to do. You go live your life, and that was so healthy for us to not be, for me, not to be tied every day, and then midweek I got to go shuffle the kids to their father, and he only gets a short amount of time on weekends. Like, that's not what we wanted for our kids. So that's why we chose week on, week off, and it worked out for us. I know so many people back then asked me, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you not see your kids for a whole week? And I said, they're fine. They're with their father. Like, I trusted him enough to have children and marry this man. Like, I have to trust that he's going to take care of my kids just as I would. Like, now's the time I get to live, a little on my off weeks. And I appreciated that. And I think he did too. So this was the one issue that we didn't argue about. Like, it was so easy to come up with that schedule. Like, no problem. We'll do a week on, week off. Let's go to the next issue. I have 3 boys. They need their father, and they need him more than just a weekend dad. That's not something that we ever wanted for our kids. So that's why it worked out for us. As far as holidays, because people did ask me, well, what about holidays since you're doing the week on, week off? And what we decided was, if the holiday falls on your week, great. If it doesn't, okay. I will say that we did, like, if he had them for Christmas, let's say, and I wanted to see them for a few hours, it was a simple text. Hey, can I have the boys, from this time to this time, or whatever plans you have, can I have them after that? That was never a fight for us. To be honest, even now, I think my kids have probably spent more holidays with he and his family than actually mine. And that's okay because they're with their father. And so if you're finding yourself arguing about what kind of schedule um, you want to create for your children, put them first. They need both parents in their life. I can't stress that enough. Like, children need both parents. So if it's an option, I would strongly suggest doing the week on, week off. You'll thank me later. So I hope this helps, guys. Let me know if you have questions. Each week I'm going to dedicate a little bit more about co-parenting. This week I just wanted to focus on that schedule thing because it's a question that I get asked a lot, and I got asked a lot about it in the past. So I wanted to share what worked for us. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week.